This episode of the Midlife Purpose Project is brought to you by Katie Farinas Coaching, transformational, soul-centered coaching for women in midlife who are ready for more clarity, freedom, and purpose. You've built the career, the family, the home, but still the question lingers, is this all there is? If anxiety, restlessness, or disconnection have left you longing for more meaning, more joy, and a deeper sense of purpose, you are not alone. In my coaching, we calm your nervous system so you can feel safe, release buried limiting beliefs that keep you stuck, and reconnect with your intuition. From there, we uncover your soul's purpose, your dharma, so you can finally live the life you were meant for, peaceful, purposeful, and deeply fulfilling. Book your free discovery call today at katiefarinas.com/discovery-call or click the link in the show notes. Because midlife isn't an ending, it's the beginning of your true becoming. Hey, gorgeous souls, and welcome to the Midlife Purpose Project. I'm your host, Katie Farinas, a yoga teacher and soul purpose coach. And just like you, I'm navigating the wild, beautiful, and sometimes messy terrain of midlife. This is the space where we unpack the shifts happening in our bodies, minds, and souls. We're diving deep into the questions that rise up when everything seems to be changing. Think of this as your toolkit for making sense of this powerful phase of life. We'll have honest conversations, belly laughs, maybe a few tears, and a whole lot of growth. We'll hear from experts on topics that matter to you in midlife, and I'll share yogic philosophy that has been helping humans live with more skill and ease for centuries. Because here's the truth. Everything you've been through, every challenge, every joy, every heartbreak has been training you for this. You're not broken, you're not lost. You're stepping into your power. So come on in, embrace the mess, the beauty, and the absolute magic of midlife. Let's journey together. Hello there, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Midlife Purpose Project. I don't know about you, but I have been feeling a little bit off lately. A little scattered, a little restless, a little ungrounded, just emotionally different. My mind has been extra busy. I haven't been able to access the same level of joy or gratitude that I normally do. And it's been really bothering me because I couldn't figure out what is going on. Why am I feeling this way? And I think I found the answer, which I will share with you in a moment. But what happened was I continued to fight this, right? I continued to resist it. I didn't want to feel this way, trying to understand why I was feeling that way and really putting a lot of mental energy into trying to figure it out and resist it from happening. And I was in yoga this morning, and I was the student today, not the teacher. And I saw my mind. I saw my mind throughout the class. I was witnessing it, and it was a very busy mind. And I thought, what in the world? Why is my mind so busy? Why won't it just be quiet or at least slow down? And then I did something that I advise all my clients to do, and yet still I had forgot to do it with myself, which is I just allowed it to be. So I had spent all of this mental and physical energy over the past couple of weeks resisting it and trying to figure it out and trying to push it away. And then in the middle of class, I finally metaphorically threw my hands up in the air and said, I give up. I let it be. It's just going to be there. And I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's there or care that it's there or judge that it's there. And as soon as I did that, it quieted down. It significantly quieted down. And so this is your reminder that what you resist persists. The more you fight against something, the more you try to change it, the more you really grip and claw and push against what you don't want, the more it will show up for you. And the second that you can relax into it and just allow it to be, without judgment, without trying to change it, without trying to figure it out, just simply surrendering to it, then the more likely it will just fade away because it's an energy that wants your attention. For some reason, the energy wants your attention. So if you can turn your attention towards it without having to do anything about it, but just allowing it to be and allowing yourself to witness it, the more likely it is to feel seen and feel like it doesn't need to continue being there. And I liken this to small children who really want your attention as their mom or their dad, their parents. And they'll do all kinds of things to try to get your attention if you're not paying attention. But the moment that you really stop and really pay attention to a small child, they usually say something, you know, do something that you interact with them, and then they go off to play by themselves or with friends or whatever the case may be, but they don't feel the need to continue trying to get your attention. They got it, they felt validated and seen, and now they move on to the next thing that catches their attention. And that is how I think about emotions. They want to be seen, they want to be validated, they want to know that you are there for them. And once you do, they move on. And so just take some time maybe to think about some emotions you've been trying to hold at bay, emotions you've been trying to fight against, push against, judge, analyze, and what would happen if you just allowed them, if you just allowed them to be. How would that change? How would that change the experience? But I also want to talk today about why I think that I'm experiencing all of this kind of internal turmoil that's going on. Because on the outside, there's nothing really going on. There's nothing that would be causing me to feel this way. Except I realized today that it is just past the autumn equinox. So we are fully in the transition from summer to fall. And I will tell you that I feel really, what's the word I'm looking for? Dense, because every year, every year I go through this. Every year I go through a period when we're transitioning from summer to fall, where I feel anxious, restless, I have sleep disturbances, my mind gets very busy, I physically feel discomfort in my joints, I may have some digestive issues, I feel a little melancholy, and the answer is always so simple. The answer is that this is a transition in seasons. And there is a sister science to yoga called Ayurvedic medicine. And Ayurvedic medicine explains that we are so intricately linked to nature that whatever happens outside of us in nature is also happening inside of us. So when nature is changing, then we are changing and it's impacting our physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And it can really throw us off balance. But understanding this and knowing it, knowing why maybe we're feeling off balance, giving it the grace it deserves, right? Allowing it to be there. And then doing certain practices that can help return us to a sense of balance can be really impactful. So if you're with me and you're feeling like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just feel kind of off and nothing seems right and I don't even know why, then you are probably experiencing this same, internal upheaval related to the change that's going on outside of you. So what do we need to do? How do we return back into balance? Well, it depends on which season you're transitioning to, because this doesn't only happen in fall. It happens on every seasonal transition, we can really feel it. And if you're paying attention, you've probably noticed, right? I think the most common one that we talk about is the winter blues. But if you really start paying attention, you'll notice every season that you transition to, you start feeling changes in your body, in your mind, and in your, spiritual, emotional health. So for this season, this summer to fall, we are going into a season that is characteristically kind of cold, dry, windy, and also irregular. So fall is a season where you can have an 80-degree day one day and a 40-degree day the next day, right? The weather can be, the temperatures can be kind of all over the place. So what does this do to us physically, emotionally, spiritually? Well, physically, we might be experiencing things like dry skin, achy joints, trouble, as I mentioned, with our digestion. We're just not digesting foods as well as we normally do. Emotionally, we can be feeling really unstable, really kind of all over the place. Our what they call the monkey mind. That's the mind when you can't tame it, you can't control it. It's like your thoughts just are all over the place all of the time. So we might be experiencing that mentally. And emotionally, we might be feeling that sense of restlessness or exhaustion too. I didn't mention this is a season where we may be feeling more tired. And then on a spiritual level, we may be feeling ungrounded and disconnected. So all of those things may be happening inside of us, and there are things we can do about it. So because we're entering into this colder, drier season, if we want to help ourselves physically, we should be eating things that are warming foods to help heat up the body from the inside. So this is like hot herbal teas, soups and stews. It's warming spices like black pepper, cumin, nutmeg, ginger, and cinnamon, right? So those are kind of the foods you want to lean to help yourself physically transition in this season. Then to help you on a mental, emotional level, we want to bring in stability because this is a season where we may be feeling really unstable. So doing things like having a regular schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time, attempting to eat your meals at about the same time every day, having certain practices or rituals that you keep up with on a regular basis. So that could be meditation or prayer or writing in a journal, any type of ritual or practice that really brings you back to yourself, back to your center, and helps you feel more stabilized. And then on a spiritual level, we want to ground. We want to feel connected because the energy of fall can be very airy. It's very airy energy. And so we can often feel ungrounded. So spending time in nature is a beautiful way to ground. If you can't get outside, simply taking some time to look outside at nature, really just taking it in, spending some time in front of a window or a glass door where you can really just pay attention to the trees and the leaves and any birds you might be seeing and animals and the grass, whatever it is that's in your view, as well as some grounding yoga poses. I mean, going to regular yoga class, I highly recommend, but if that's not in your budget or in your time, the allotted time that you have on a regular basis, then doing simple yoga poses at home, like child's pose, like savasana, where you just lay on the floor flat on your back and totally surrender and let the ground hold you. Something called supported bridge, where if you have a block or a pillow that you can place under your hips. These are all beautiful grounding poses that can help you feel more connected and steadier internally. So, with all of that being said, right, we're gonna allow it. We're gonna witness that it's happening. We're gonna have compassion for ourselves. We're gonna turn towards it and not try to push it away and just say, "I see you," and I understand, and I'm just going to let you be there for as long as you need to be there. And then we're going to do some of these practices that can help balance ourselves out, that can help ease us through this period. But with all of that being said, Fall is actually a really beautiful time as well. And nature is always giving us lessons. And it gives us lessons constantly. But I feel like when we transition from one season to the next, it really explodes with its lessons. And so in the fall, it's a time where obviously the leaves turn beautiful colors and eventually fall off the trees. So, what is that? What is nature telling us by doing that? It's really a symbol of letting go. It's a reminder of non attachment, one of our yogic principles of non attachment, that we are never meant to hold on to anything forever, and that there is always a time and a place for everything. And then there's a time and a place to let it go. And if we can honor that, if we can allow what is meant to fall away, and we do it with compassion and grace, then something else will fill the space. I was talking to another midlifer this morning, a midlife woman, and her eldest child left for college in August. And she's, very happy for him. She's very excited. But of course, she is also really missing him. And their relationship has shifted and changed as he's entered this new phase of his life. And especially that he is in such a phase of transition. And she talked about the grief associated with that. There's a grief associated with this forever change in her life and in their relationship. And she is beautifully honoring it and allowing it to be there and not rushing it along, right? Not trying to make it go away faster, but also knowing that the space that it creates is the opportunity for something else that is more aligned with her and her purpose right now in her life. And that her only job is to allow, right? It's to allow the letting go and then allow whatever is meant to arise to arise. So that's a beautiful lesson of the fall. The fall is also, a time where we have shorter days and there is less light. And what does that remind us to do? Well, it reminds us to slow down. It reminds us that we are not meant to live at one speed or one pace during all parts of the year. There are times in the year where we're very active and productive and flourishing. And then there are times when we are meant to start releasing what doesn't serve us, start internally reflecting, start becoming, a little slower and taking pauses. And it's in the pause that we begin to understand what may need to come next. And that is what this time is reminding us of. So if you are feeling physically tired, if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to push through each day and it's so hard, honor that. Find places in your day where you can pause, you can rest, you can internally reflect, and see it as a beautiful opportunity instead of questioning why you're so tired or what is the matter with you or I have so many things on my to-do list. I don't have time to pause and reflect because I promise you, if you take that time, everything else will fall into place, and it will fall into place with much more ease and much more grace. So, why don't we take some time now together to pause and to ground? And we'll do that through a simple meditation practice. So, wherever you are, if you could find your way to a comfortable seat or lying down, and if you have the capability of being near a window, that would be lovely as well, if that's possible. And what I'd ask you to do is take a moment first to look outside the window if you are near a window. And if you're not, then to just look at the space around you in the room that you're in. And the idea here is to take the gaze and relax and widen it. So much of our day we spend focusing the eyes, right? We're looking at a computer screen or we're looking at a phone. We're really, our vision is very contracted and focused. And what I invite you to do here is the exact opposite. It's to allow all the muscles around the eyes to relax and allow yourself to take in your full visual field. So you're not really focusing on any one thing in particular. You're just allowing yourself to take everything in. And this is a beautiful practice for your regulating your nervous system. You may find as you do this, as you sit here for a moment and just allow yourself to receive your visual field, for it to be full and open and unfocused, that you find your body just starting to relax a little bit. So keep going, just keep allowing yourself to have a really relaxed gaze, to take in as much as you can without efforting, though. This is easeful, right? So, what comes into your awareness, to your field of vision, is what comes in. We're not trying for anything in particular. We're actually the opposite. We're trying for really nothing at all. We're just allowing the body to ground itself and to settle itself. And now I invite you to close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, begin to settle into your body. Maybe feeling the weight of your body on a chair or the floor. Maybe feeling other areas of your body that are in contact with a piece of furniture or with another body part or with the ground. Really just settling into the body. Now taking a moment to scan the body, moving your awareness from the top of your head and then slowly traveling down throughout the head, the neck and shoulders, the chest and belly, all the way down to the toes, really taking your time. There's no rush here. And if you find that there's an area of emotion that you can feel, or an area of where it feels tense or tight or uncomfortable, maybe taking some extra time in that spot, maybe lingering there a little bit, and imagine yourself breathing in and out of that space. You're not trying to change anything. You're not trying to figure out why it's there or what it means. You're not judging it. You're just compassionately aware of its existence and allowing it to be. And then becoming aware of how it changes. Does it change in intensity, shape, sensation? Is there a color associated with it? As you place your awareness on it and just compassionately sit with it, what do you notice? Now bringing your awareness to your breath, feeling your inhales and your exhales, noticing where you're feeling that sensation of rise and fall with the most intensity. It could be in your chest, your belly, your back. It could simply be the sensation of cool air entering the nostrils, and warm air leaving them. But where are you feeling your breath today? And then just resting your awareness there. We're going to begin silently repeating the mantra, so hum. This is a very grounding mantra. In Sanskrit, it means I am that, meaning I am part of the divine. On your inhales, you'll say so in your mind. And on your exhales, you'll say hum in your mind. So as you inhale, hum as you exhale. There's no need to force or control the breath. Just let the inhales come as they come, and let the exhales come as they come. So hum. So hum. So hum. As you sit here, your mind may wander, and if it does, gently bring it back to the mantra. Again, there's no need to judge that or try to make meaning out of it or ask any questions. Just return back to the mantra, inhaling so, exhaling hum. Know that I'm here and I will call you back in a few moments. Releasing the mantra now, just letting it float away from your awareness as you continue to pay attention to the breath and then gradually bringing your awareness to the space around you. Maybe noticing sounds in the room, maybe noticing sensations in the body or points of contact with the floor or the chair. And then when you feel ready, gently opening the eyes. There's no need to rush or move. Just once again, keeping the gaze unfocused, allowing yourself to take in the entire space around you, to be still for just a little bit longer, and to notice how you feel now compared to how you felt before this practice. And you don't need to label it. It doesn't need to be better or worse or the same. We don't always have to give things a name. We can just be aware of them. And then if you feel ready, you can start bringing little movements into the body. Maybe stretching a little bit or wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe rolling out the neck a little bit or uncrossing the legs if you were in Sukhasana, easy seat, crisscross applesauce, as we called it when we were kids. So that's it. That is a beautiful grounding practice that can be done pretty much any place and any time, with the exception of driving. Please don't do it if you're driving. But that's a beautiful practice that you can come back to over and over again. And it only took a couple of minutes. And I hope that it was impactful for you. All right, my friends, I am signing off for this week. I hope if you are really feeling the unbalance of this season, that some of the things that we talked about in this episode will be helpful to you, especially that allowing, right? That just not trying to force or change or fix anything, just being aware of it, giving it compassionate attention, allowing it to be there without judgment. I hope that can be impactful and helpful to you during this season of transition. I highly encourage you guys to sign up for my newsletter. The link will be in the show notes. It's a weekly newsletter that comes out on Sundays, and it's a combination of wisdom, science, stories, and practices to help you come home to yourself in any season, right? Any season of the year, any season of your life. These are timeless wisdom. It's timeless wisdom and timeless practices that help us stay centered, grounded, and deeply connected to who we are, what we want, and why we came to this earthly plane. All right. Namaste, my friends. I love you so much, and we will talk next week. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery here at the Midlife Purpose Project. I hope today's conversation sparked something deep inside of you, made you laugh, or reminded you that you are never alone. Remember, it's never too late to reconnect with your soul's purpose and live a life of meaning. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the show, or share it with someone who could use a little inspiration. It really helps the show reach more women and helps me keep the content ad-free. Join me next time as we continue to explore what it means to live with purpose in midlife.